This is Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, the largest TV station in Africa, and also DSTV if you are watching us to know much about what is going on in Nigeria. Last 2 weeks you saw a review of a book, The Eighth Wonder of the World and Made in Nigeria, and you'll be wondering what it's really all about, and we're going to tell you much about it this week. The author herself is here, is an architect. You'll be surprised to see an architect being an author also. And this particular segment brought to you, the architect will be who is in charge. So we want to welcome Olaboludele Simoyan with us. Is the author of the Eighth Wonder of the World Made in Nigeria. You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Yes, the Eighth Wonder of the World Made in Nigeria. What's it all about?
The Eighth Wonder of the World Made in Nigeria is a book that I've written about the new Nigeria of our dreams. In about the year 2004-2005, I just got tired of the way things were in Nigeria and decided to do something about it. And what I normally say is that Nigeria's problem is not really the corrupt people, because they've stated that this is their agenda. They stated they want to maintain the status quo, and they're pursuing it with as much passion as they can muster up. The issues were the men and women of goodwill. What have we stated our agenda is? Are we stating that we're going to change the status quo? And are we pursuing it with the same kind of passion that the corrupt men and the evil men of Nigeria are? If that were the case, a critical mass of change would have occurred by now. So, like I said, I got tired of the way things were, and I decided to do something about it. I've always had ideas and thoughts of doing something great for my nation, and I was waiting for the right time, the right period, the right situation, but you know, the right time will never come. And I think 2004-2005, I really just got tired of the way things were in Nigeria and said, for all it's worth, I'm going to do something about it. I'm going to put my thoughts together. I'd been buying books over the years, so some of them I read, some of them I didn't, but I decided to put all my thoughts together in a book, and it's a 2-in-1 book. It's actually 2-in-1 book. It's the Eighth Wonder of the World Made in Nigeria, and if you flip it over, it's 2-in-1, the Eighth Wonder of the World Made in Nigeria. Then you flip it over, it's the Eighth Wonder of the World Made in NAIJA. It's two sides to a coin. This is where we are now, the things that we need to do to get us to our future. This is all about our future, the great future that we have as Nigerian citizens. But it's going to take a lot of hard work, a lot of sacrifice. We will have to be able to pay the price to get to the promised land of greatness.
Okay, I'm talking about going to the promised land. I also expect you to write a book on the Eighth Wonder of Architect. How did you find it? Why so many things? What really influenced you on this?
Like I said, I just got tired of the way things were in Nigeria, and I said I have to do something about it. I'm not saying I have all the answers, but I do have answers. And I'm saying if we can start with the answers that we have now and then begin to work with it and begin to run with it. I started from the point of view that, look, I'm not a politician, I'm not in government. What can I, as an individual Nigerian citizen, do to begin to create change right where I am at? One of the first questions I started asking myself is, if the future of Nigeria is dependent on me, what will I do? What can I do? What must I do? I asked myself that question severally. If the future of Nigeria is dependent on me, what will I do? What can I do? What must I do? And from asking myself that question severally, I mean day and night, I was thinking about solutions to Nigeria. This book came about. I read probably close to 80 to 100 books, just putting the thoughts and ideas together. And I didn't take, you know, normally what we do is that we take American solutions to American problems and we bring them to Nigeria and force them on our environment. And that's why things are so chaotic. I've been living here the better part of my life, so I looked at the situation in Nigeria. I said, look, how can we solve our problems the Nigerian way? How can we come up with Nigerian solutions to Nigerian problems? And I contextualized the writing. I used Nigerian examples, ideas and things that the average Nigerian can identify with, because I've lived here the better part of my life. Even though I wasn't born here, I'm a diplomat kid. I was born in Washington, D.C., you know, but I've lived here the better part of my life, so I know the Nigerian situation. I used ideas and concepts that the average Nigerian can identify with in the book. So you pick up the book and it's like, okay, yes, I agree with that. Yeah, oh, you know, and it begins to connect with the average person.
Okay, I'm talking about who wrote the forward?
Dr. Christopher Colladale with the forward of the book. 4 pages, I think it is. Thereabout. 4 pages. Yes, 4 pages. 1, 2, 3, 4 pages for the forward.
The first chapter, you mentioned 8 wonder. What are the 8 wonders?
Well, the concept of the 8th wonder, the number 8 the number 8 stands for new beginnings. Now there are 7 wonders of the world, and anytime the 8th wonder is referred to in any situation, it's talking about something awesome, something extraordinary, something amazing, something incredible, something fantastic, something remarkable. It's like putting all the 7 wonders together makes the 8th wonder. Albert Einstein said that compound interest is the 8th wonder of the world. So you can see whenever the expression the 8th wonder of the world is used, is just to express something that's out of the world, something that's extraordinary, something that's beyond your imagination, something that's just fantastic, incredible, awesome, unusual, uncommon. So I'm saying that as Nigerians, we're going to build Nigeria into the 8th wonder of the world, and as individual Nigerians in our various spheres of life, we will build 8th wonders where we are. We'll become an 8th wonder and build an 8th wonder, and then build Nigeria to become the 8th wonder of the world, so that people will look at Nigeria and think, wow, you know, the way that we're known for all the bad things and the extreme negative, people will begin to see us in the extreme positive. And you know, as Nigerian citizens, we're basically extreme people. We're not really middle people. When we want to do something very, very, very bad, we do it very, very bad. You know, the corruption, we don't steal money in millions now, we steal it in billions. You know, when we want to 419, you know, we're very extreme in the negative, but we're also very extreme in the positive. I mean, the people that have done Nigeria Pride in so many areas, Wale Soyinka, the Chinya Achebes, the what's this guy's name? The doctor that did the first surgery on a pregnant woman, on a baby inside the mother's womb, was a Nigerian doctor. He was, you know, on the team of the first set of doctors that did that surgery, and his name is Dr. Oluyinka Olutoye, and he's a Nigerian. So what I'm saying is that we're extreme people. Either we're doing things in the extreme negative and the extreme positive. I'm saying by the time we finish building Nigeria into the 8th wonder of the world, which will be the extreme positive, like the way our young people line up at Nigerian embassies to go abroad, they'll be lining up at like the way our young people line up at foreign embassies to go abroad. Foreigners will be lining, young foreigners will be lining up at Nigerian embassies to come to Nigeria. They say, look, I've heard about it, but this I have to come and see for myself. I need to get to Nigeria to see what has happened in Nigeria. We'll come up with solutions, global solutions to global problems, and it'll be the Nigerians that will be coming up with those answers.
And this book that you are formally launching of this book, most of Nigerians writers, they normally say the money will go to the NGO, the money we use for this. The money you realize from this book, what are you going to use this for NGO?
Well, let me first of all start. I've given so many copies. I'm sure if you were to calculate how much in value, probably run into the millions, because the first set that came out from the press, second set, you know, I mean, so many copies have gone out as complimentary copies for starters. 2, the money, the income that's coming is going to go into propagating this message that I've been talking about. What I'm actually looking for is people who will actually sponsor copies of these books into school libraries. I've already started stocking school libraries in my area. I live in Ogudu, Ojota area, and I've started going to schools there to stock their libraries. Some people have been able to sponsor to stock their libraries with copies of this book, but I'm looking for more people, because actually I would like to do Lagos State and then move from Lagos State and do all over Nigeria. But unless we get sponsors, that's maybe an issue. But I believe that either way, because right now on the internet, if you want, you can get a free copy of this, the e-copy, from the 14th of February, for the next 80 days, from the 14th of February. That's my own. I'm giving my very best back to Nigeria. So I want as many Nigerians as possible to have access to the information. So it's not about making money. When people think of writing, I could have thought of 101 other ways of making money than writing a book. I can assure you, because my dad kept telling me that people don't make money from writing books, you know. I wrote the book to change the destiny of my nation. I wrote the book to change the destiny of my nation. In fact, when the book came out, I gave so many complimentary copies out, hoping that I'd get a buy-in, so that someone would just run with it, and then we'll be able to put the books in all the libraries possible, you know. But that didn't quite. Well, I'm still waiting. It may happen. I'm still waiting. So let me not say anything negative. I'm still waiting. But the issue here is that I wrote the book to change the destiny of my nation, and that's why I'm allowing people to download free of charge for the next 80 days, starting from the 14th of February. Count 80 days down. That should be sometime in May. It will end. For people to, because I know there are a lot of people in diaspora that would like to have access to this information, and we don't have that much time. We don't have that much time. Like I said during the media launch, I said the people who want to destroy this nation are running, and those of us that call ourselves patriots, we're walking. It's not going to work that way. For us to be able to create change, we have to run. Not only run, we have to also fly and overtake those people that are trying to destroy our nation. Because, you know, at any point in time, I don't know if you know Newton's law of, I think it's Newton's law of motion, which says that a body in motion stays in motion until an opposing force is applied on it. Some people are pushing our nation in a particular direction of destruction, and they've been pushing our nation in that direction for so many years. The thing about it is that the patriots, those of us that believe in Nigeria, those of us that want a new Nigeria, have to begin to apply a force in a different direction. And it's not an equal force. We must apply more force in the direction which we want to take our nation to, which is the promised land of greatness, which is the 8th wonder of the world.
Who really influenced you?
Who influenced me? Who influenced me? Let me say my father. You know, as kids, we used to travel all over the world, but my father never allowed us to forget that we were Nigerian citizens. As a matter of fact, I only have one passport, which is the Nigerian passport. I was born in Washington, D.C. I don't have an American passport. I have just one passport, the Nigerian passport. And my father, he always kept reminding us that we were Nigerians. He always made sure we were proud of who we are, you know. I never felt inferior to anybody. I went to an American international school. I never felt inferior to any of the international kids there. There were Canadians there, there were Americans there, there were Australian people from Australia, there were people from New Zealand, there were Germans there, there were different kids from different countries, but predominantly Americans and I think Canadians, you know. But I never for 1 minute felt inferior to any of the kids there. My father made us proud that we were Nigerians. Kept reminding us, you know. In fact, when we're living in Austria, I think it was Austria, or when we traveled to London, I can't remember which one of the countries, a foreign country, our parents used to speak our dialect to us, and sometimes, you know, as kids would reply in English, and they'll now say in our dialect, we spoke our dialect to you, so that the people around here will not understand what we're saying. And they were very particular about that. In fact, we didn't even speak Yoruba in the house. It was either English or our dialect. You know, so they gave us a very strong, my parents, my mom and dad gave us a very strong sense of belonging. You're Nigerians, you should be proud of who you are, you know. And then my mom believed so much in me. I mean, she's passed on now, and it's really unfortunate that she didn't see this dream. I mean, she saw it in the manuscript, but she didn't see the book come out. She was always saying that, look, I was born to do something great. I was born to do something that, you know, would change many people's lives. Just kept saying that greatness is in my life. So I guess when the time came to write this book, I just, you know, I mean, it was very challenging. There were so many things I did in order to get the job done, but I got the job done. And so I guess my parents basically were the major influences in my life. But then of course, it's not just your parents that influence you. Other people, friends, family, you know, also have a major source of influence on you. But my parents were the major.
And where people want to buy the book, how much?
Okay, the book is 5,500. It's available in Lanterna and Sheraton and Terra Culture. We're working at putting it in the hub at ShopRite, the game at ShopRite, and at Lekki, and I'm not sure there's a bookshop in Ikeja yet because it's just open. Then we're also working at putting it at the Galleria, the Lifestyle Bookshop in Victoria Island. So, but it's in 3 bookshops right now.
That's why you target people in the Victoria Island.
No, Ikeja, it's in Sheraton. Let me. can you smell it? How does it smell? How does it smell?
Good.
Good, just good. Are you sure? Use another adjective.
Fantastic.
It smells fantastic. Why? Because the new Nigeria of our dreams is fantastic. The new Nigeria is packaged just like this. It's colorful, it's beautiful, it's a wild place to live in. It's a wonderful place to live and work in. It's a wonderful place to bring up our children in. Every strand here represents 1 million new Nigerian citizens who will love and serve their nation Nigeria, and who will take their nation Nigeria to the promised land of greatness. They'll do whatever they need to do. They'll be unlike the they'll be unlike the selfish leaders we've had in the past. They'll be selfless in their bid to take Nigeria to the promised land of greatness, and they will do whatever they need to do to take Nigeria there. Like a bucket of water. You know, the water is not the bucket. The water is not the bucket, and the bucket is not the water. The bucket contains the water. Likewise, this book is the new Nigeria of our dreams. The book contains the ideas, the things that are going to get us to the promised land of greatness. And I have sweet here. Why? Because the new Nigeria is sweet. It's a lovely place to live in. So it's just basically, the idea is just to basically begin to picture paint in people's minds how the new Nigeria will look. Once you smell it, it smells wonderful. It smells wonderful. It smells lovely. It's a great place to live in. It looks wonderful. We'll have trees lining up our streets. We'll have flowers lining up our streets. During the day and at night, the smell, the aroma, the flowers and the trees will smell. And people will just say, wow, this is a beautiful place to live in. This is a beautiful place to work in. This is a beautiful place to call my country Nigeria. What I did in the book was that like I said, I used Nigerian examples throughout the book, throughout the better part of the book. But I also, every chapter, except for maybe one, starts with an illustration. You know, the idea is that it makes it an easy read for people. People can pick it up. If you decide you don't want to read the main, okay, let me just show you one. At the beginning of every chapter, there's an illustration, then the main text starts. Now, the idea is that everybody's always saying that Nigerians don't read, Nigerians don't read. Now, that's a discussion for another day, because I can give you my own thoughts on that. I believe Nigerians read, it's just what we're reading. I believe that more Nigerians are reading today than we're reading 10, 20 years ago. When I went to serve in 1988, there were only, in fact, I think there was only 1 or 2 bookshops that I could get books from. Now on the streets, okay, when I started working, the only place I could get management books were